was doing the sermon one morning, and it was a Sabbath. And actually, it's quite funny. The one town, we had two towns where Francois was the pastor. The one was called Paul, and the other one was called Paro. Now, it sounds different, but in Afrikaans, it's Paro and Paro. And if you say it quickly, it's Paro and Paro. Paro and Paro. So he would phone me and say, "You're preaching in Paro today," and I'm preaching in Paro today, and I'd say, "Fine, thank you very much," and we'd end up in the wrong church. We'd end up both in the same church, and they were, 30, 40 kilometers apart, and you're supposed to start preaching, and you're in the wrong place. So it got very tricky. Anyway, he phoned me that day, and he said, "You're preaching in Paro," and I said, "Is it now Peril or is it Pero?" And he said, "No, it's Peril." So that's the church where we had this difficult church. So I went to this church that morning thinking, oh, we're going to have trouble again today. And there they were all sitting, and they were infighting, and there was aggression. And I went to the front when it was time for me to do the service. And as I went to the front, a black lady walked in the back. Now, every eye turned in horror, because this was not a colored lady. She was black. Now, the colored people come in every shade of color from light to dark. But this one was a black person of the black race. And she was dressed immaculately. Immaculately. My wife would remember the dress better than me. But every eye did that. And you could see the hair rising on some folks' heads. And she went and sat down relatively about there. And my wife was behind her and watching her. And then as the first hymn was mentioned, she got up with everyone else. And without a hymnal, she sang beautifully. And her voice rang across the audience. And we thought, this is strange, because these people had said what? They'll never be able to sing our hymns like we do. They have a totally different culture. We would have to teach them to sing the hymns. And she didn't even have a hymnal. And she sang it beautifully. And she had a Bible in her hand. And I was preaching when I did the sermon. When I mentioned a Bible text, she's got it. And then she did everything that they said would not happen. She was immaculately dressed like any Westerner. She was singing our hymns as crystal clear and as sweet as a bell. None of the connotations and things that they thought would be involved was there. And then the second hymn and the third hymn, and it was like her voice was like the voice of an angel. And I was fascinated with her, and I kept looking at her, and I thought, wow, God, you sent a person to destroy these people's bigotiousness. And after the sermon, what does the pastor do? He goes out the front, he goes down the aisle, and he stands at the back, and he greets the people at the back. Now the people come out the church, and we greet them, and I'm waiting for this lady, because I want to ask her, where does she come from? And how come she's at this church? Because there was a black Seventh-day Adventist church in that town as well. Now, why did she come to this one if there was one there that she could have gone to? I want to know. And when all the people had left, she hadn't yet appeared. And I said to my wife, who stands next to me when we say goodbye, I said to her, where is she? She must still be in there. And so we went inside to look for her. No sign of her. There's nowhere else she could have gone out. and the ground is totally fenced. There's no way she has to come past me. There was no way it could be any other way. So I believe that God sent an angel, a black angel, to destroy bigotry amongst God's people. And it wasn't very long. It was just 2 weeks or so, and all the troublemakers had departed. It was about 10 of them. They refused to stay in a church that was multiracial. That's how the first multiracial church started in South Africa. And what a privilege to serve a God who, in the final events of this earth's history, wants to bring together every race, tribe, and people, and to create one nation under God that love Him and keep His commandments.